much for making time for Monday Report. I said daybreak. I meant Monday Report, all right? You can send in your questions. Use the hashtag Monday Report at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Also, you can text in 22422 and pose all your questions to the presidential candidates who are here. And let me introduce them. Ruth Musheru Mutua is here. She's the running mate for the Agano Party from my right. And David Mwaure Waihiga, presidential candidate. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting us.
All right. The last time we spoke, you were an aspirant. Now you're a candidate.
Right.
And there's quite a lot of things that have been happening. Let's start from what Kenyans say is their greatest point of concern, right. The cost of living. Mm-hmm. How will you deal with this as a presidential candidate?
Number one, Trevor, I think it's important to tell Kenyans, we are in this race, my running mate and I, because we want to provide a leadership that has been missing in this nation. Talk about the cost of living. You know, the trouble we are having in Kenya, cost of living, unemployment, lack of medical care. You can't isolate them. They are all tied in one thing. And let me tell you what is this. Bad leadership that we have had in Kenya, impunity, corruption, wastage, lack of resolve and determination. And that's what my running mate and I are looking at. How we are bringing into this, Yani. And this is what we are telling people. We are in this race because we want kubadilisha.
Okay.
Tunataka kubadilisha.
Okay.
Because if we don't do it, when we look at the people we are competing with, they are the same guys, and we are looking at what we have had these last 5, 10, 20 years going on. But talk about high cost of living, because you asked me a specific question. In our first 100 days, we want to bring it down.
How?
We'll tell you how we want to bring it down. You know, the first starting point is why do we have the sort of high cost of living that we have, Trevor? Mm-hmm. It didn't just come from the air. It didn't just come. It came because of bad leadership. And a lot of our competitors are in it. It came because of corruption. 2 billion shillings, adding to 60 billion Kenya shillings per month, adding to 720. And when you count, by the time you've done 5 years, and you have done 10 years, like the regime that is coming to an end, the amount of money we have lost is just about the 8.2 trillion debt that we have. Then when you have that much debt and you need to pay a Trevor, why can't the cost of living go high? Number two, runaway corruption, where you have 6 trillion as of 2020, not now. The last 2 years are not computed, of our Kenya's money being illegally stashed. Illegal. I'm not talking about the dollars when you visited, and I know you were in the US late last year, and you got some dollars. Maybe you opened an account and friends, blessed you, or I'm not talking about that, Trevor. I'm talking about KEMSA money. It's stashed abroad. National Youth Service money is stashed abroad. All these scandals and a billion from Anglo leasing. And the people who want to be recycled and Kenyans want to recycle are some of the people who have presided this. Why can the cost of living go high? There are other ways. We'll bring industrialization. We'll create a climate for investors. And when money comes in, and it will not be garbage in and garbage out. You know, corruption is about garbage in and garbage out. Okay. Why should we increase the price of oil? Right now, we also bring accountability. I'll tell you, we don't know how our oil is spent, Trevor. We do not know. We don't even know where oil has been discovered and not discovered. We don't know what's happening to the minerals in coast, titanium. Kenyans don't know what's happening to their wealth. This nation has been getting led in a way that we do not know. It's a rich nation, it's got money, but Kenyans don't even want to ask the questions. For us, my running mate and I will ask the questions. We will tell those who have failed, we'll call out them by name. And it's because we will bring a different leadership. Tunataka kubadilisha. We are the Badilisha government to bring something new. We'll come and talk about how to deal with corruption in just a bit. But let me bring in Mutua on this. Mutua, explain this to me. So how does dealing with corruption bring down the cost of living, considering this is money that is already stolen? So if God helps you and you stop the gaps, so there's no more stealing. We're still a country that is laden with debt.
that is unable to finance. We're living beyond our means. We still have more than 8 trillion shillings in debt. Every 10 shillings we make, 7 is paid back.
Yeah.
So how are you going to ensure that the cost of living comes down, even if you just plug the corruption aspect? We're already in debt anyway, and this money has already been stolen. So how is this going to work?
Maybe not to repeat what the fifth.
Yeah.
The fifth has just mentioned. You know, the unfortunate part is that we have to correct what those have been in government. They are the people who have caused all this to happen. The corruption has been put in place, or has been put in place by those who are running with us. Those that people are calling, the two-horse race.
Yeah.
They have put us in a crisis moment that we are coming to correct. And for us to come and collect to stop the leakage, the 2 billion leakage per day,
yeah,
is going to help us close the gap, because we will have more money in our pockets that is able to circulate within the economy.
Will you borrow more?
No, not as instant. We need to sit down. We'll need to sit down. We need to have strategic meetings and plan for that. We cannot borrow instantly to increase our debt threshold.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mwaure, how will you deal with that if you're not going to borrow anymore, like your running mate is saying? And right now, as it stands, for every 10 shillings, we pay back 7 shillings. And you also have recurrent expenditure. How will your government survive?
Trevor, haven't you heard, but I know you have heard, and Kenyans, that even some of the money that's borrowed, even the money that was borrowed to build SGR, not all was put into the project. You know, there's something that is not being addressed. You'll find that even our competitors are not addressing corruption. The holes where our money has been running through, they're just saying what we'll give and what we'll not give. But somehow things are coming up. Yesterday, in one of your sister programs, 2 of the close mates of some of the competitors gathered together, and one told the other, are you not one of the ones who got money from KEMSA? And named a couple of names. Things are starting to come out. Let me tell you, my brother Trevor and viewers, we have enough money to put into production, into our agriculture. We have enough money to pay for our oil. We have enough money to empower the small business person. We have enough money to ensure we have enough wheat and unga so that the price of unga doesn't have. That can be generated, and it's already being generated.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, our money is usually wasted. Our money is usually pilfered away. This is where we are in. And because it's a lot of it, Kenyans, sometimes we don't see the difference. And then what we even get, we talk of it as a lot of development. The little infrastructure we have done lately, that's pittance. This country should have infrastructure the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years all over. This country, Trevor, should be a first world.
Okay.
It should be. That's where my friend and I are coming through.
Okay.
And we are saying, if you elect these other people, we won't move from this. We've been going round. That's our problem.
I understand this, but what I'm looking for is a practical approach. For example, the National Assembly, in their last act, they raised the debt ceiling from 9 trillion to 10 trillion. Do you agree with that move? Let's start from
No, we don't agree.
And if
because
not,
even as we sit here, 2 billion is still getting lost. We have not had the assurance that it is not. And I know that's the minimum. That's just from within government, even as we sit now. And this being the last days, I will not be surprised. There must be a run because some people are not sure if they will come back. Even as we sit here, we are losing, and that's a minimum, and I'm not sure it is it. That's where our problem is. That's where our problem, accountability, imputability, impunity, corruption, mismanagement, wastage, and this has been the order. It is in the DNA of the leadership we have had, and none of them is innocent.
Okay. So, Mutu, I also saw you shaking your head that you don't agree with the public debt being raised. But then how then would you plug the 800 billion deficit? Because we are in this, the budget is out, that's the deficit that we have. If you don't raise that debt ceiling, how do you intend to plug that gap?
You know, what we are planning to do is to have this government by the people, not of or for the people. It is by the people. So we'd want to call in the expertise, the experts come, we sit in and negotiate and find out how are we going to help this country without borrowing more. Do we need to deal with our wage bill? Our wage bill is pretty high. Do we need to deal with that? So first things first, let's not add on to the debt, whereas we are taking leisure 1-2 weeks to go and discuss things outside there. So for me, we work with what is within ourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll start with cost cutting.
Yes, cost cutting.
Okay, and what I'd like to hear.
Yes, but we are saying much more. We are saying much more.
Yeah.
We have spoken out and said we want to be the government by the time we have done our first term. And it won't go that far. And I need to repeat this, and then I'll apply it to your question, that brought down corruption, killed, struck the head of the dragon of corruption. And this is what we are saying.
Yeah.
On our second day in office, we want records of KEMSA, National Youth Service. We want to know where our money is, because that money is still around and it's somewhere. Okay. It is still around and it's somewhere, Trevor.
So you want a public audit?
We want that. We will want a public audit. We will provide a platform where we will tell people, return this money. But if you don't return, we'll do what the current government has not done. We will even invite statements by those who've been there. We had even a fellow in Nigeria who left government. He was a president. And he was made to account because he was one of the conduits of the bribery and pilfering that happened.
Okay.
And you know, Trevor, it is possible. And we saw a bit of that in 2002 when Kenyans worried. Kenyans are not corrupt because they want to be corrupt. Kenyans don't like being corrupt. Kenyans feel bad. You know, Kenyans are God-fearing. When they walk to an office and they can see that the person, the civil servant, or the other person is going around because they want a bribe, they feel very bad. It's a Monday. Just the other day they came from church, or a Friday they came from the mosque, and somebody is looking to be bribed to just serve, to be served. Trevor, I know you want specifics, and we will come with more specifics. We are saying even now the 2 billion is still being stolen. For us, this is where we've got to deal with it. When we do that, there will be enough money. We will also look at the whole issue of taxation. Yeah. And we have, within our planning, and we are getting people to help us, they are looking at it. We have wondered, what incentives can we give? Because in Kenya, we are fairly taxed. I think up until this year, in previous years, the revenue you have collected has been lesser than our expenditure. There's another one I haven't mentioned. Apart from the 2 billion that's lost, the Auditor General year in, year out, has come up with reports talking of unexplained expenditure, totaling to over 5 billion. I can't remember whether it was last year, but one. That's money that can lower costs. We'll go for it. Okay. From the first day, that's where we want to emphasize. Okay. We don't want to start raising costs. We want to uncover the past. All right. We want to expose it. Okay. And our money will come back. Okay.
Mutua, when are you launching your manifesto?
In 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks' time.
Do you have a date?
It's in the final stages.
Do you have a date?
Not yet.
Okay. So what are the main pillars of this manifesto, just to give us a sneak peek of it?
Of course, there's corruption. We have the corruption bit. We'll deal with the agricultural bit. We have to deal with the economic aspect. Yeah. We have education as a pillar. We have women. There is youth inclusive. Yes.
So how do you want to deal with corruption, Mwaure?
We want to revisit corruption scandals in this nation. Okay. For us, in our manifesto, that would be a key portion of it. We still want the question answered, who ate our money? Okay. We have had Kenyans telling us out there that nyani ni wale ni misitu tu wamebadilisha. For us, we want to badilisha those so-called nyanis. And it's not any person. That's a saying. It's a saying. We want to start from revisiting that. We want the Obachas and others who've been in government, and some of them apparently are our competitors, to answer for where KEMSA money went, National Youth Service, Anglo Leasing, fertilizer. That discussion is not going on. my brother. And when they use it these days, and Kenyans should note what's happening, they don't talk about it. They are just throwing up to each other. You, Kemsa, didn't you? And the other one. And then very quickly that is covered up.
Yeah.
And even the questioner is asked to go to the next one. Number two, we want to ask our partners internationally, this 6 trillion that's out there, please bring money if you are our friends,
okay,
if you care about us. But thirdly, my running mate and I, we have said, if it to be her or me who will be involved in corruption, she will call me out.
Yeah.
I'll call her out. There'll be impeachment proceedings.
Okay.
They'll be going to court. We want to be the regime that will, if any of us is involved in corruption, the following day should resign. If they are not, we want to strengthen the law,
yeah,
that there can be such an accountability. But we want to see the big fish,
okay,
go to jail.
Yeah.
And that means empowering the police, the prosecution, giving them teeth. You know, finally, corruption is a whole question of goodwill. We want to bring goodwill.
Yeah.
It's one word, goodwill. And that's why we are saying we'll be the team that will make a difference. And we keep saying we are the Badilisha team.
Yeah.
The Badilisha dream team. Goodwill, my brother.
This goodwill and Badilisha that you talk about.
No, I don't know what you're looking for, Trevor.
I don't know what
specific. I've told you we'll take people to jail.
For example,
we'll take people to jail. If people involve my competitors, we have the deputy president. You want names? We have the former prime minister. We have another brother. If some of those people involve our current president, he will make a statement and tell us, where did Kemsaman want? What more do you want bigger than that?
The reason why I want specifics.
Then we have courts. We are not going to throw somebody down a cliff.
Yeah.
We are not going to throw somebody down a cliff. You've heard it.
Yes.
Yeah. We have courts. We will be telling the judges under this regime, there is goodwill. There is goodwill. Like Li Wan who did. There is no magic in this thing.
And that's my point, exactly. Goodwill, because you have institutions that are running. Let me bring in Mwaure on this as well. You have institutions that are running. There's the EACCs, there's the DCI, there's the judiciary, all of which are all supposed to be independent. So currently, as you speak, all these cases you're mentioning, they talk about investigations are ongoing. What will you change then? Are you saying then that it's a leadership that you will change in totality or what? Because they will still tell you this is a situation we are still investigating. The person is innocent until proven guilty. So if your government comes in, what will be so different? That's what I'm saying, that I want specifics on that. So EACC is there, judiciary is there, DCI is there. You go and say, we want the list of the people who are corrupt. EACC gives you a list, red card list. You still need evidence to prosecute them. So what will be so?
You see, once we get in, for us, the Badilisha is coming in because we are coming in with a new tag team. So we look for clean people as we are. We are a new broom.
So it's a complete overhaul.
It is a complete overhaul of professionals.
Okay.
So those will help us bring in clean books.
Okay.
And they will help us get those who are putting us into this situation of corruption, of the high cost of living.
Okay.
Yes, Trevor, we will spare none.
Okay.
Trevor and our government, everybody is on notice.
Yes.
Start preparing. You receive grace. You receive remission if you come and say, like the Zacchaeus of a miracle, I had stolen, but I'm returning this. We have not had even our competitors, and some of them have been thick in it.
Yeah.
What else? What are all these other promises that we are giving Kenyans?
Okay.
What Kenyans? How can we believe them, even you? If some of our competitors, you can't make them finance directors or accountants in your company, or even in a church, because almost all of us are people who go to church. We are Christians or mosques.
Yeah.
If you can't make them the treasurer of your church, some of our competitors, how can you vote for them? Okay. Why do you want to vote for them, Trevor?
All right.
Why do you want to give them leadership again?
Okay.
And they have been there the last 5, 10, 20 years. Some we were told they received checks in the Anglo leasing. Others we were told they received KEMSA, their brothers. Others being supported by cronies who are close to them. And they are the ones who received NYS money or campaigned with it. They got into power with NYS. Kenyans, how can we vote these people?
Okay.
Unless we clean now, Kenyans, sorry, let's give up. Let's say we've been unable to run this nation, or we change.
Okay.
There comes a time, Trevor, when you have to change the clothes you are wearing. And I know this is not the suit you had yesterday. You know, there comes a time when you need something new.
Yeah.
There comes a time when you get angry. My running mate and I are in this thing because we are angry.
Okay.
This is positive anger. We have felt also the cries of Kenyans.
Yeah.
We know the potential of this nation. We know what it will take for us to move forward.
Okay.
And we are taking no nonsense. We don't want what Shakespeare calls high-class nonsense. Tutapea vijana bilioni 100, itatoka wapi?
Okay.
Na wewe kwanza, hujatuambia ni ngapi, tunasikia tu kwa nini ya kwamba pesa ya National Youth Service wewe ulichukua.
Tutakuja utuambie utapea vijana just a bit.
Maybe just to add, you see this manifesto they are launching, this big manifesto thing that they're launching. For me, these people are coming up with ideas in writing. They have been in government 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? For me, this is a same script, different cast.
Okay.
Yeah, because they are not coming to clean. If you're coming to improve education, you have been in government for like 20 years. So what's the difference? You're just coming to launch something that is so good, well presented, and take up so much airtime. So Kenyans, you give them another chance, we waste another 5 years, they stash us into more debt.
Okay, we'll come to the education bit in just a bit because it's we're talking about your manifesto. Duncan Ondieki says, Mr. Trevor, I understand that the upcoming general election is a two-horse race, meaning it's either Azimio la Umoja or One Kenya or Kenya Kwanza. So kindly ask them which way will they use to convince Kenyans to vote for them and win the upcoming general election. This is related to an InfoTrack poll that was released very recently, the latest poll actually. You were not featured. Do you agree with that poll? And do you agree that it is a two-horse race, like Duncan Ondieki is saying?
No, I do not agree that it is a two-horse race. He's entitled to his opinion.
And the polls?
And the polls, I also believe they are entitled to the opinions. I believe 9th is going to bring out the truth of what the Kenyans want. Kenyans are tired. I am tired. For me to have sat in this position and to have accepted to be his running mate, I was tired. And that is why I'm coming in to bring in the change that Kenyans have been desiring. The opinion polls put up there could have been doctored.
Okay.
They are allowed. Could have been doctored. So for me, the ninth speaks it all.
Okay.
Yes.
Mwaure, this is not your first time.
No, it's not.
You've seen the opinion polls before. The latest one did not rank you anywhere. Do you agree with them?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you how, Trevor. Okay. Official campaigns had not started. Now they have started.
Okay.
Nomination process had not gone. From 58, 4 of us have remained. Debates have not come. This is the first time that you are having this duel here, this couple here. And Kenyans are listening to us. And for a moment thinking, hey, just a minute. We can change this whole regime. We should send these guys home. We have not voted. The votes have not been counted, and IBC told us whether there is a 50+1. If there isn't, there is a runoff. We have not done that. How can then anybody say that things may not change? And finally, let me say, this is from the good book, the Bible. The battles are not won by horses. Horses just take people to the battlefront. We are into this thing. And we can tell you we are in this race. We are very serious. Serious people do not come at the beginning. They come later.
Okay.
We will be a factor. Check the polls by the time we have done 1 month.
All right.
Did you say in today's paper, they wrote and they said in some of the press that these people, with the other 2 candidates, specifically emphasizing on me, this vote is not going on us, it's not going to be the same.
Okay.
Because we are giving Kenyans something different. Tubadilishe wa Kenya.
Okay.
Badilisha.
All right. We'll come back to just a bit. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, send in all your questions. I see a lot of them here. Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Monday Report. I'll sample some of them to my guest in studio, right? See you in a bit.